Hello everybody. Today in the shop what we're going to be doing is seamless jointery. We're going to be making a tabletop for that small tea table. And why I'm focused on the bandsaw right now is what I'm showing you is my eye protection. Also my face mask that I use to protect me from sawdust. And also my hearing protection. These are a must in the shop. And when you're cutting wherever it's dusty, you should wear the dust mask. But if it's not dusty, you should always wear the safety goggles over your eyes and also your hearing protection. So anyway, we're going to get started. See that block of wood there? We're going to saw that at 17 inches. And then we're going to resaw it through the bandsaw several times to make 2 or 3 boards. And then we're going to join them together seamlessly after we run them through the planer. So we're going to get started now. Okay, you might wonder what I'm up to. I got the 3 pieces I just cut out on the bandsaw. And I'll get in here a little bit closer so you can see. Bring the camera down. Okay, here's the 3 pieces. Now I'll put them together the way I cut them out on the bandsaw. This piece, this piece, and this piece. And why I put them together the same way, you can see that they match. I put them together like that. You can see that that's all been cut out from that one piece. Why I put them together like that is I'm going to take clamps and put clamps on the ends. Now, because I'm running them through the planer, there's a reason why I'm doing this. I'm going to put clamps on here, but down low. I'll put the clamp down low like that on both sides and clamp them together. And then I'll run them through the planer. And I'll plane this edge right here. Then what I'll do is I'll flip them over, re-put the clamps on, put the clamps down low, and I'll plane the opposite side of this edge. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a very square edge that's already flat and smooth planed. After I do that, then I'll run the rest of the boards through the planer and plane them down to the size that I'm looking for, which is probably about a 5/8 of an inch thick. And I'll plane off all this mess, all the bad parts, like this chip here and everything. I'll plane all that off and get all 3 pieces a uniform 5/8 of an inch thick. Then I'm going to be ready to join them together as a small tabletop. So we're going to get started on this now. Okay, I want you to take very careful notice of something. You notice that clamp, you notice it clears the blades of the planer by at least 3 inches. There's no part of the clamp that's going to come near the blade of the planer. And the clamp's on the end of the wood right now, and it's ready to hold the wood as the wood goes through the planer. So you have to be very careful that there's a huge clearance between the clamp and the planer blades. You do not want to let that clamp touch your planer blades. Very important. Also, when you have your planer lifted up high like this, I cannot stress enough the need to keep your fingers clear and your hands clear away from the planer blades. So we're going to start this planing operation. We're going to be careful about feeding this log through, and then we're going to reverse the log around the other way, and we're going to take the other side off too. So we're going to get started on this now. Okay, as you can see, I've ran both sides through the planer blades. So now we're going to separate them and run them through the planer the other way. Okay, as you can see, we've done our planer operations. And we have the vacuum cleaner here ready to go to suck up that dust. And now what we're doing is over here we have the pieces. Right here on the table saw. And what I've done is I've matched these pieces up roughly where I want them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them and clamp them. I'm going to use this glue right here. carpenter's glue, homebound carpenter's glue. Now, because they're so thin, they're only 5/8 of an inch thick. If they were inch thick, inch and a half thick, even 3/4 of an inch thick, I probably wouldn't be thinking about some sort of jointery in this table. But because they're only 5/8 of an inch thick, I still got some of that red stain on my hands from last night. Anyway, because they're only 5/8 of an inch thick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some biscuits in them. And what biscuits are, one sec, I'll show you what biscuits are. Okay, this tool is what's known as a biscuit jointer. And what it does is it actually cuts the biscuit. It slides in like that, and the blade goes in like that when it slides forward, and it cuts a round groove for biscuit joining. So this is a biscuit joiner. And this is what I'm going to use on this tabletop. I'm going to join it with biscuits. There's 3 different settings. I got it set for the deep biscuits. I'm going to set it for a moderate biscuit right there, so it doesn't go quite so deep. Actually, I'm going to set it for a small biscuit. I want a real deep biscuit. So that's a biscuit joiner, and I have some biscuits in here someplace. Let's see if we can find it. Here's my biscuit bag. This is my biscuit bag. And those are probably the biscuits we're going to use right there. These biscuits right here are probably the biscuits we're going to use. So they're going to go right in the wood. Zing. That goes in to zing. Actually, we don't even need that deep. It's this depth here. Yeah, that's the depth right there. Now, how we do this is we position the boards where we want them. Take our pencil and we mark where we're going to put our biscuits in. Now, we mark our boards A to A, B to B, so on. So when we put the boards back, we get them in the right positions. See? B to B, A to A. Okay, and when our marks for our biscuits are in there too. So now what we do is we plug the biscuit joiner in, we put on our face mask, our goggles, and our hearing protection, and then we zip the biscuits in, and then we glue it all together, and then we put clamps on it. So that's next. Okay, here we go. We've cut the biscuit slots in. I wanted to show you how the biscuits fit in this biscuit slot. They go in like that. Put another one in. And you glue them. And of course what it does is then they join up to the other side and they make it so your table's not going to break on the joint. Now you only have to do it when you got thin joints like this. They add a little bit of extra glue area. If you've got some thicker to glue to, thicker wood, you don't need them. Because if you're getting a nice tight joint, the glue bond will be stronger than the wood itself. But in this case, this table was a little bit on the thin side, so I decided to use a few biscuit joints on it. So here we go. We're going to start the gluing process and the clamping process. Okay, we've got all the biscuit joints in. We've got the clamps on, as you can see. We've got significant pressure on. All the biscuits inside the wood. And it's clamped up and it's glued. The biscuits are glued inside. Let's see, there's 6 biscuits inside there. And we're letting her harden. We're letting the glue joint harden. So then we'll cut the circle of the table out after. Circle of the table is I think 15 by 18. It's not a real big table. So that's that tabletop done.